All right. Good morning. What's good, YouTube? What's good, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. We're back with another video. Today, I just finished my week of work. It's Thursday morning. Um, the third week is in the book. As you guys know, it's been a journey. I took 2 years off traditional job working. Obviously, I did Uber, but that probably was, the easiest thing I could do because I enjoy driving. But this job is a little different, but it's also not a lot of work. I don't finish burnt out, tired or anything like that. But I, anything that keeps me from traveling the world, um, does hinder a lot for me. So my goal is to basically have financial freedom and be able to come and go as I want to. In the days of digital digital remote work or whatever you want to call it, it's possible, but not everyone are in that position. And obviously, I'd like to make more money than I'm making right now, but that's not the content that gets you a YouTube algorithm like. But as for me though, I don't mind if I only for now if I only have a couple like 10 to 20 subscribers that watch my videos. So I know there's somebody out there that this content might be fitting for. So that's who I'm doing it for right now. Before that, I was just doing it for myself, just to just to stay on track with my activities and my life events was changing, but now I'm taking it public. I don't know why I'm doing this so soon, but oftentimes when you're doing something that you like to do, you like, man, why did I start a lot earlier? So yeah, and I invested a little bit of in it. I got me a little microphone for noise cancellation and better sounding. You know, nothing too expensive, but I got this one at Five and Below. Let me make sure it's still on because it gets me all the time. My other one that I bought off Temu, basically it would, I guess it would stay on when I shut it off. But this one, I don't remember shutting it off yesterday when I bought it. But when I turned it back on, um, it was still rocking. So I'll probably go get another one actually, because at that price, you might as well do, you might as well get as many as you can if it's a good product. But I'm gonna keep testing it, so maybe I'll swing back around and get it. Not today. I got a couple errands I gotta do. Gotta tap in with the family, the support system. Um, yeah, it's Thursday, so I'm back. I'm back outside. I've been staying put, just at the house working, and now I'm going home where I don't really stay home. I kind of just sleep, get outside, get busy with Uber for the weekend. So the update is I may have a trip coming up. So I'm looking into next Wednesday. If somebody could work for me, then I'll just fly out and be out there for Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and hopefully Sunday. And then I'll come back Sunday night until Monday. And I'm trying to see if somebody would work Monday as well, but it doesn't matter. I don't really have to rely on somebody working. I'll just skip a couple of days, like I'll fly out Thursday afternoon to tonight and be there Friday, Saturday, and fly back out Sunday night. It really doesn't matter because people are starting to act iffy because I'm hearing that they need hours, but you know, but when you make it seem like you need the favor, people they kind of start to renege, which is no problem. That's why I'm gonna just go along with. I don't have to choose the extra days. If anything, I could make sure I take care of other things on the back end. So yeah, I'm about to go home. Get the. I'll probably don't start working right away. I'll probably continue to get some full time rest because I've only been sleeping for about 6 hours and just napping in between. So it's been like 18-hour shifts really, which I don't mind, man, because sorry, in about um, 3 days, I racked up damn near 50 hours, 56 hours. So it's like the perfect job I could have right now, for real, for real. So if anybody out there trying to have a life like how I'm trying to basically, I hope I've been doing an okay job explaining it. You want to travel, you want to be a weekend warrior, which you would call it. I'm going to start driving, by the way. And you want to come and go as you please. This is kind of things you look into. It's basically, it's not home care, but you working with individuals with IBD. Um, it's not, depends the kind of case you have. Some of those individuals, they're very independent. So um, they go to work, you basically there for them to come home and make sure they take their medicine and kind of just assist them with things that they may need assistance with. But I'm not going to get too deep into the work, but if you're watching and somehow something about this channel interests you, and because eventually in the future it's gonna be like I'm gonna make it work best where Jesus, where you're gonna see me a little more active with the activities that I'm doing, and it'll all make sense. But basically, I'm an individual who got tired of the traditional way of doing things. I always thought a job like was basically slave work. You working, you put in your best effort, your good years forward, and basically helping someone else or a big name company further their whatever their agenda, their goals, their mission. Meanwhile, sometimes you're too tired, you're too occupied to come and work on your own stuff. So um, I realized that a very early time of my life, actually. You know, I got a job at 17 years old, and it was at McDonald's, of course. Most people got their start in fast food. But soon enough, I left for college. And after that, coming out of college, it wasn't a long time. I think it was like 2 years of college. Came back to community college. I kept trying, but you know, life happens. Specifically, my life in a weird way. That's why I need to do this because sometimes when I look back, I'm like, man, I hope I remember exactly how it happened. But I'm not gonna get too deep into that. But that's made for another video. But pretty much when I basically came back home at the age of uh, 20, and I started back working at a check cashing, which was pretty secure behind a bulletproof glass. and it was the day shift. So basically, I was 20 years old watching the day go by, and I can't quite. I think I used to work weekends as well. But by then, I was slowly not becoming a guy that wanted to go out anyways. But I needed the days. So I felt I felt stuck. But within a year and a half, almost the 2 year mark, I put my resignation in, and I moved to another state, a neighboring state, but just good 2 hours away. So I left New York City and I moved to another state. And while I did, that's when I wound up going to community college again, thinking that that would be the way to basically free myself. Try to get a job that pays a lot and not you know the labor. But by back then, I wasn't even thinking about traveling, so I was still able to think within the realm of just getting a job that career. And I gave it another try. I also worked security, and that was back in 2019. I also did ride share. I started doing Lyft at the same time, but I was very much distracted and a lot immature than I am now. So um, that didn't work out very well. I got into a couple of legal troubles, nothing too major, but good enough to set me back. Uh, and I mean, like maybe a whole decade of setback, because that's the reason why I am here where I am now. You know. Which I talked about in other videos. I won't get too much into that either. Um, I'm on the freeway. I don't know if there's noise cancellation or not, but pretty much fast forward till today, I am just doing my best to regain a stronger mindset and liberation. You know, that's in my essence. I'm not somebody that wants to be held down, um, cooped up. I can't give in to this because ultimately I don't care how hard the work is. It just has to be coming from something I created. That's really all I want. If I could invest on a piece of land where I could farm things and maybe sell them and barter them, I could do that all day. I could go 18 hours. I could wake up every day and do it because I think I will genuinely enjoy that. You know, coming from where I come from and a little bit of my childhood experience, that's right up my alley. Unfortunately, at 10 years old, I wound up at New York City where it's a big city and there's not a lot of those activities going on. So I'm just working my way back to that, you know? All right. So that's the point I was trying to make is just that, what I'm doing right now, like I said, it's not hard work. I could sit around and think. I could make my videos if I want to, you know. But eventually, I won't jump. I won't abandon ship unless I have another one prepared. But eventually, I'll figure something out. That's what I'm here for, to figure something out. I'm on YouTube. I'm driving Uber to put with this income, so that way I could travel, see the world, and capture videos. So maybe I'll do videography, I'll do interviews and things like that. I'm trying to strike something here. So, you know, I didn't say a lot of this information at the beginning of the video, but if anybody watch up to this point, like, subscribe and comment to the videos, please. You know, I appreciate anyone who take their time to listen and hear me out and try to understand what the process is. But eventually, we know we're gonna get a banger out there, you know. And I'm gonna start growing the other channels as well. So this one is only on purpose. So I'm just trying to purposely give you good product because I know a lot of the other products that I put forth is not up to par where someone could sit and listen. You know, we don't have that long attention. You know, people can't sit around and give something attention too long unless it really grasps their attention. So that's what I'm working on. You know, it's not easy to hold a person's attention. You know, our phones, our daily activities keep us from doing that. So that's why it pays for someone to be able to come on the tube and hold people attention. That's why we call it content. So there's be more content coming soon. I'm gonna get off this, you know. I'm gonna get home. I'm gonna start the day later on, and stay tuned for the next video. Peace.